u/cleanad7901 Askreddit. US wants to ban TikTok. What are your thoughts?
This is the placeholder intro file. Can be easily swapped.
Would probably be the best for everyone. As a former teacher, I worry about how it's impacting kids. Many of them watch it for hours daily, and there's been tons of issues with them following idiotic TikTok trends. It also is used by a lot of minors, so security issues are concerning. I don't think the first reason is enough to ban it, but the second might be. On government phones, people are so quick to give half the story. Jesus Christ. Sounds like they're trying to get rid of the symptom of privacy concerns and not the problem, which is how no tech company or corporation respects individual privacy. The type of information they are being accused of tracking should not be available to any app makers, if the device allows that to be info to be passed to an app. In my opinion, that's a problem with the security of the device, not just something we should blame on the app. Instead of banning TikTok, we should have some real privacy laws and put it on the manufacturers of the operating system to enforce them. On the one side, I think it would benefit the psychology of a lot of people, both kids and adults. On the other side, there are hella hot women showing off their armpits on TikTok, and I don't know what I'd do if that went away. A lot of useless people are going to find out how useless they are. Nothing will change. YouTube Shorts and Instagram Reels will fill the void. Doesn't matter, it'll get replaced by something else. A lot of ban-happy people here in support of a law that arguably grants the federal government even more power to restrict free speech and the flow of information on the internet. In my view, the right way to do this for Congress to pass a law that prevents any company from selling US consumer data to China and Russia, or they cannot do business or advertising in the US. That is a sensible legislation. That's not what the ban TikTok bill is. Per the Senate's page, the bill's provisions is to ban any and all social media company that are under the influence of China, Russia, and other designated countries. Arguably, it doesn't matter if the companies collect data at all, as long as they are under the influence. Whatever that means, the bill provides a generous exception for any app that may be otherwise under provisions of this act, including apps under the influence of China, Russia, but ostensibly serves U.S. national security interests or provides information to the U.S. National Security Agency as part of an authorized intelligence activity, or pursuant to reporting requirements of the National Security Act of 1947. This bill would also sweeten companies that have their principal place of business in China, or companies that have a 10% or more of the voting stock or shares of a company. You read the full bill here. Link. What does that even mean? Who gets to decide what is under the influence of China? The president? A court of law? If a president believes that Russia is using a misinformation campaign on Reddit or Facebook, can they threaten to ban the Reddit or Facebook app unless Reddit, Facebook adopts policies the president wants enacted? I can think of at least one or few judges who might think, under the letter of Rubio's proposal, that this would be permissible. We know there are at least a few trigger-happy political candidates who accuse the mainstream media, like CNN, NY Times, etc., of being communist extensions of China. They are in the government right now. Should we empower them to continue to use the scepter of China in order to further curb our liberties and freedoms and grant them unfettered discretion to restrict access to the internet, so long as a plausible argument can be made that they are under the authority of China? Ironically, this approach would bring us closer to our Chinese counterparts' philosophy to the internet than we think. In short, if you want to protect user privacy, ban the actual act of selling user data, or polluting user data to China. Don't just ban apps using ambiguous and vague language like, under the control of China, because that could mean anything the executive wants it to mean. And for good measure, don't include an exception allowing companies to harvest our data as long as they comply with reporting the information to the federal government's intelligence agencies. Good beef riddance. The government doesn't have the power to ban software. What they do have the power to do is require Apple and Google to remove TikTok from their stores or be in violation of the consent decree. A consent decree is a promise by both parties to regularly review, critique and recommend changes to ensure user data integrity and safety. The decree allows the companies a level of immunity while working through concerns if it is discovered that user data may be stolen or misappropriated by apps offered on the store. It's highly likely that the consent decree will work, as it always has, despite heightened concerns. But even if the app is removed from the online stores, users who really want TikTok would still be able to sideload the app by downloading the APK from TikTok's website directly. I don't really care either way because 1. I don't live in the US. 2. I don't use TikTok, but if I was forced to take a side I'd say ban it, since their privacy is more than very questionable and also a lot of really dangerous challenges. and just misinformation have been spreading there. Didn't Trump suggest that and Reddit lost its mind? Reddit loves to hate on TikTok, but the fact of the matter is every social media is guilty of the same invasive privacy breach beat. We just haven't been as aggressive about most of them because those companies aren't based in a foreign power. I'd much rather see action taken to reduce the power of software companies to collect and sell user data en masse, then target a specific app which isn't that much more harmful than Facebook or Instagram, and it's just going to get replaced by something else immediately if it does get blocked. Take out Facebook and Twitter too. Yes please. There are major privacy concerns. Some countries have already banned it. Spying on your citizens is only okay if you do it. Good riddance. No more dumb trends or fake disorders. TikTok is a useless app built to feed vanity and narcissism. While doing that, it steals your information and China legit has a profile on you. Delete it. I've been saying this for years. This isn't new. They are stealing your data and looking for info warfare. It also destroys normality of how life and people work. I'm kind of an absolutist in that I believe the government should keep its mitts out of governing what is available on the internet, provided it doesn't violate other laws like child beep or human trafficking or drug sales and such. And those should be prosecuted under the existing laws. I find it a slippery beep. If they ban TikTok, what's to stop them from banning Beep? Or Reddit? Or some company who's riling up people against the status quo? I find TikTok to be a vapid house of stupidity. And it sounds like their data policies are no bueno. But it's not my place or the government's place to tell people what to do with their time or their information. I'm in favor of educating people to the risks and letting them decide for themselves. China's version is different from what I've read. Educational use. And young users are timed out from the app after 40 minutes. Here in the US, all users can scroll for hours through nonsense. They're dumbing our next generation down. Beep it. Ban it. I think that I should have tamales for dinner tonight. Ban on all social media for under 18 users would be great. Where will Reddit's hate beep point if it's gone? Good. It's nothing but spyware anyway. What an overreaction. Some of Key Ha's other songs are much worse. I can see the benefits. But most Redditors who complain about and have a superiority complex about TikTok really don't know anything about the app. I miss Vine. Hypocritical. Because Americans seem to love touting freedom and no government overreach. Yet they are going to tell their citizens they can't use an app. People are willingly using TikTok. If a user actually cares about their data privacy, they would delete the app themselves and be done with it. Canadian here that doesn't even use it. So any reason relating to children sounds a bit BS to me because TikTok is simply the thing, which is part of a group of other past things. TV or YouTube have been past things that parents let their kids park their beep in front of it, only to get mad because they weren't carefully watching what their kids were spending their time on. For those problems, banning TikTok does nothing. I'd simply advise talking to your kids more or at least watch what they're watching with them. Sometimes just to make sure what they watch doesn't lobotomize your brain. I know that there's other important issues regarding TikTok, some of which political, but that's really all I really care about for the matter. Again, I don't use it anyway. The Chinese government uses it differently, because a lot of the youth have short-term memory. They have TikToks about history, science experiments and DIY stuff and cooking, which sounds like a great idea. Too bad we don't implement them here. I don't believe for 1 second the US government stated reasons for banning TikTok. The supposed problems that it poses can be solved by more robust content restriction and privacy laws that the US is reluctant to apply to its own private companies. I know the US is trying to wage economic war on China by reducing the competitiveness of its flagship companies. Tencent, WeChat, Alibaba, etc. are a crucial part of the Chinese economy and fund all sorts of important research such as AI, machine learning, AR, VR. China is moving up the manufacturing value chain and the US wants to prevent that. It wants China to remain a factory for cheap beep and a place for America high-tech companies to sell their beep. They don't want Tencent, Alibaba, or ByteDance to compete with the likes of Google, Apple, or Amazon. This can be seen by the US's actions towards other sectors of the Chinese economy. It destroyed Huawei's cell phone arm. It has weaponized spurious claims of forced labor to strike at everything from Chinese drone manufacturers to Chinese cotton farms, and restrict China's ability to purchase high-end chips and chip-making machines. America will probably win this round of economic warfare due to sheer mass and inertia. But nobody can pretend for 1 second that this is supposed to be for the safety and security of the American people. Was about time. Perfect. Alternative headline: US wants to ban Chinese spying software. What are your thoughts? I quit watching TikTok almost a year ago for multiple reasons, privacy concerns being one of them. I much prefer YouTube Shorts. Usually if there's any really funny TikToks they will make their way onto YouTube Shorts anyway. Fear they'll jump over to YouTube. China bans all Western apps and media. The world should ban China's spyware. I'm not on there so I really don't give a f. Set a thief to catch a thief. I don't care what happens to TikTok, I'm just sick of hearing about it. Should have done it long ago when it was discovered that China is behind this. Ban that beat! Exclamation mark.
This is the placeholder outro file. Congrats! You made it through the entire video. This segment is supposed to fill 20 to 30 seconds. So I'll keep talking a bit. Hope you enjoyed and don't forget to hit the like button, ring the bell and subscribe to the channel. Any improvement ideas? Write us at AutoGenLabs@gmail.com or leave a comment. Have a great day.